Hey guys, if you are a contractor, I am talking HVAC, solar, insulation, roofing, and you are a small business owner and you're looking to save some time in an easy way that's not going to break the bank, do I have the hack for you? If you're not familiar with me, my name is Barb McGowan. I'm an AI consultant, and I also am a co-founder of MeetEmma.io, which is a marketing, AI, and automations agency. And today I want to show you how 10 minutes of setup, which I'm going to guide you through right now, can save you hours every week. And this is a replicable process, meaning that once you know it and once you've learned it from watching this video, you can do it over and over and over in your business across every category, across every department. I'm talking sales, marketing, admin. You could teach this to your office staff, show them this video, and they're going to be able to do this as well. And it's going to save them so much time. They're going to thank you. Okay. This is ChatGPT. If you're not familiar with it, think of it as an assistant for you that never sleeps. And so we can come in here and we're going to tell ChatGPT, just like we're talking to a human, exactly what we want it to do, give it the information that it needs, and it's going to spit out in fractions of the time that it would take us to do it. It's going to spit out an output like what I'm going to show you right now. So the schedule for the week in 5 minutes. So I'm going to guide you through what I went through in talking to ChatGPT so that you can follow along and create something like this for yourself. And I'm even going to show you how to customize it for your business so that you don't have to set this up every single time. It's going to be stored in a custom GPT that you can use over and over again. And it's just going to cut down on the amount of time that you're going to need for administrative tasks, marketing, responding to emails. Like, the list is endless. So if you don't already have a chatgpt.com account, just go to the website, chatgpt.com. There are free accounts. I would encourage you to get the $20 paid account. It's $20 a month. I promise you it's worth it. Like, think of the time that you can save by doing these tasks, and I'm going to show you right now, and you'll see how worth it is. All right, so we're going to come in here, and this is a conversation I already had. It probably happened over the course of maybe, 7 to 10 minutes. But I'm going to walk you through exactly step by step how you can use this in your business. So I went in and I started talking to it. This was the start of the conversation. And I said, hey, I own a residential installation company with a crew of 6 installers. So fill in the blanks with whatever is relevant for you, with the type of company that you own and how big your crew is. So I told it, create a table with a schedule for the week, Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The client that I made this for, they work a 4-day work week, and the guys get there at 7 a.m. They leave at 5 p.m. But that first hour, they're like getting the trucks ready and that type of a thing. So create a table with the schedule for the week for the following jobs. The time required to complete each job is listed below. Please assume that 2 installers are needed per job unless otherwise specified. So again, that's going to be different for everybody's business. Maybe you have a smaller crew. Maybe you need more guys on a job, just depending if you're, replacing a roof. It's going to be different than going and doing an HVAC tune-up. But you're going to fill in kind of the information for your business that's relevant. So please use the days of the week as headers with the time blocks as rows. So headers go at the top, rows go on the side, just so you're kind of speaking the same language as the ChatGPT. The goal with the schedule is ensuring that the schedule is maximized for efficiency, meaning we complete all the jobs with the least amount of empty time in between jobs. If needed, installers can work overtime on Friday to complete all jobs, but we want to avoid that if it is humanly possible. Okay, so these are the real jobs that one of my clients has for this week. And I was just messing around with this to see if it was going to work. And I was pleasantly surprised. So we have Rachel, Steve, Andrew, Maureen, 2 jobs for Lee. It's a subcontracting job. Charles and Gordon. And so a 2-day job means it's like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for 2 days. And I specified that this job is going to need 3 installers just because of the nature of the work. It involves insulation and ductwork. This is a 2-day job. This is a 2-day job. All these are like a fraction of the day, right? So I just gave it that basic info, and this is the schedule that it came up with. So it had Rachel and Steve for Monday, and that was it. So obviously that's wrong. So it said I created the schedule, and I came back and I said, you only put Rachel and Steve on the schedule and the other jobs aren't scheduled, please fix. So just like if one of your employees made a mistake, you would just correct them and say, hey, this is what's wrong, please fix it. So then it came back to me with this table, which again was wrong. And then it's like working through its process. So you can kind of see it thinking, I made adjustments, but it seems like the issue that it was having persisted. So I'm going to reanalyze and do different logic to ensure that everything is properly scheduled. So then it popped out this, which again, not right. So there may be a little bit of a learning curve for the GPT as it's working with your data. But I promise, if you're persistent and you are patient, just give it a few minutes and it's going to just get better over time. But this is kind of what the process looks like. All right, so now it's saying it's still having issues. I'm going to correct it. And so now it pops out another schedule. And so I took a look at this and I was looking at it. Okay, Rachel and Steve, da 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 da. And then I saw, okay, so this Andrew, Maureen, and one of the Lee jobs are being started the last 2 hours of the day. And then they're being split between 2 days, and I don't want that. And so now I'm just giving it feedback. So it's just like giving feedback to a new employee that you're training, right? Except this employee, it takes this, like you could train them in 2 seconds. And so now I gave it a little bit more information. I said jobs that are less than 1 day in duration should not be split between 2 days. Please correct this. And so now it reproduced the schedule. And let's see, what didn't I like about this? There was something I didn't like. So it said, here's the updated schedule. And then I said, for multi-day jobs, we don't want to start a job on a given day unless we will be there the entire day. So in other words, for the Rachel job, we don't want to start it on the last 2 hours of a Tuesday if it's going to be a 2-day job, because now it's wonky and we don't want to be going to different locations multiple days if we can help it. So I told it, for multi-day jobs, we don't want to start the job unless we have a full day to work on it. Please adjust. And so then it spit out this new schedule, and this looked good. And so it said, this has been updated to ensure that multi-day jobs are only started on days when they can be worked for the full day, while shorter jobs are scheduled efficiently without splitting across days. And I said, this is fantastic, thanks. And so let's take a look at this again. The thing that's crazy is that I compared the actual schedule for my client for this week with what ChatGPT created. Excuse me. And they were virtually identical. So ChatGPT scheduled for maximum efficiency. It outputted this table. And yeah, it did take a little bit of back and forth, but one of the things that this business owner was telling me is that he used to have to do the schedule every week. He has a production manager and a sales manager, and now they work together to look at the schedule and make sure it's done efficiently. But think of the time that he could have saved in not having to coordinate with the office staff and be like, hey, schedule this job for this day, and look at the schedule, and he would be completely removed from it. And that was something that used to take him a couple hours every week. Okay, so I said, this is fantastic, thanks. So that's great. Like I said, this was like a 5 to 7 minute conversation, and it finally gave me something that is 100% usable and actually really closely matches the schedule that professional, production manager and sales manager created. Now I want to show you how you can recreate this as a custom tool for your business so that you don't have to re-explain and go back and forth every single week. So I'm going to come up here to my instructions. I'm just going to copy and paste this into a Google Doc. And let's see what other information. So that was just me going back and forth with it. So I also want to include that jobs that are less than 1 day in duration should not be split between 2 days. So I'm going to add that to the instructions. And then multi-day jobs, we don't want to start a job on a certain day unless we will be there all day. So again, adding that to our description here in our Word doc. And I believe that was it. Okay, so here's how you build your custom GPT. You do need the $20 a month plus plan for this. It is so worth it. Once you have your plus plan, go over to Explore GPTs and click Create. My head is probably in the way, but it's over in the upper right-hand corner. There's a big white button that says Create. And let's see, we're going to name this Contractor Scheduling Buddy. And you can add a description. I'm not going to. It doesn't impact anything. It's just letting the user, you or your office staff or whoever, know what this does. But if you're only using it for one task, which you should be, because that'll make the GPT just work way better, you don't need a description. And now for the instructions, I'm going to show you two different tricks, okay? So all we have to do is highlight that, and we're going to paste it in here. Okay, and then for the jobs I provide. So I'm just changing the wording so that it says create a table with a schedule for the week for the jobs I provide. And I'm just going to open this up so that it's easier to see. Example jobs. And I'm going to specify that user will input. Oopsie. Okay. And I'm actually just going to copy this data that I had in here. So basically, I'm letting ChatGPT know that this is the kind of format that I'm going to use, or you're going to use, your office manager, your production manager, whoever, your scheduling coordinator. This is the format that they're going to use. So like I said, if you have different size crews that you want to, tell it in your instructions, like I always have 6 guys for doing this type of job or whatever the case is, you're going to be more specific. And if you need help with that part, like if you're just kind of lost on what to include for your examples, like I just walked through, leave a comment because I would love to do a deep dive and help you get it figured out so that it's working for you. So we have this input here. I'm going to click close. And that is it. And then just for fun, I'm going to click this plus sign to add a photo, and I'm going to use DALL-E. You can upload a photo. You could put like your logo for your business, but I'm just going to use a AI generated photo for fun. And we will see what it comes up with. It's thinking, so it must be coming up with something good. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so I'm going to click create. And then you can have it be set to only you can access it, or you can have it to anyone with a link. You don't need to put it on the GPT store. That's something that's outside the scope of what you want to do. So I would say if you are going to be sharing this with people on your team, click anyone with the link, and then you can click save. We're going to give it a sec. All right, so this is your link. You can click this little copy icon and then send that via email to whoever you want. And then you can click View GPT. And here we go, Contractor Scheduling Buddy. And so now, the next time around, when you have a schedule that you want to create, you can just paste it in here, kind of in this same format. And now the GPT already has all the instructions that I was going back and forth with it before. And it's going to be able to create our schedule for us. And this is all you need to do. So you just look at what jobs you want to accomplish for the week, put them in there, You should have an idea of how many people are going to be needed for the job, how many days it's going to take, or how many hours it's going to take. And then ChatGPT is going to come up with that schedule for you. Another thing that I want to mention really quick is that if you don't know, okay, so this is something that I did for this client. So he's been in business this will be his 10th year. At the end of, I think, September will be his 10th year in business. And so we have several years back that we can draw from to create sales projections for him for 2025. And so I'm going to do a whole separate video on that because it's super helpful and it makes sense for us to do it in January so that you can be set for the rest of the year. But basically, if you look at like the last 4 years of your sales, so you might have seasonal differences where like here in Fresno where it's super hot, an installation contractor is going to be really busy during the summer because everybody's trying to keep their house from melting when it's 115 degrees. If you live somewhere like the East Coast or, somewhere where it gets cold, wintertime might be that for you. It might be the busy time. So depending on when you're busy, like you're going to expect to have more sales in July if you're an installation contractor in Fresno than if you're an HVAC contractor in New York, whatever. But the point is you want to look back at your past sales data and figure out what the average is for each month in terms of the piece of the pie that it represents for your total revenue, right? So you might do 9% of your total revenue for the year in January, and then you might do 15% in July. So something like that. But the benefit of making these sales projections is it's not just for your health and not just for fun, but it's going to help you, number one, to reach your revenue goal for the year. Number two, to plan out how many jobs you need to have or what value of jobs you need to have in any given month to reach that goal and know if you're ahead of your goal or behind your goal. It's also going to help with planning for like hiring and training and needing to get a jump on that before your busy season. So like I said, that's a whole other video. Maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. If this was helpful for you, feel free to like this video so you see more of this kind of content. You can also subscribe. I'm going live for 30 straight days to help you, the small guys out there, the small contractors who, are trying to put their kids through college or, trying to make a living and aren't those big, huge CEOs with their 5 beach houses and 27 Corvettes and a Lamborghini, So like and subscribe. If you are struggling with anything, even if you don't think it's related, leave a comment because I would love to help you out. And I'll be back tomorrow, possibly talking about sales projections and how to get a handle on that. And yeah, leave a comment. If you have questions about ChatGPT, let me know. I would love to. If you have a specific idea, actually, if you have any specific ideas, like are there any tedious, time-consuming, repetitive tasks that you or your team are doing? Obviously, I can't, help you with physically installing new insulation or putting a roof on. But I guarantee you, if you think about it and you look at the tasks that you and your team are doing every day and every week, there are some that we can automate with a custom GPT or some other kind of automation or AI tool that won't put you out of business because it's so expensive and will help you so much because nothing will fall through the cracks. Things will get done just infinitely faster and it's going to just be life-changing for you. So anyway, leave a comment if you can think of anything. Otherwise, I'm Barb McGowan signing off. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your Monday, and I will be seeing you tomorrow.